Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Financial Funny News. I'm Demi, the place where money moves fast, politics move messy, and the headlines move markets. Today we've got Iraq revamping its financial plumbing, Wall Street pulling in record cash, Bitcoin climbing into the world's top 5 assets, and Washington plotting both rate cuts and trading bans. Let's dive right in. Iraq Central Bank just confirmed it's ready to roll out a full modern banking overhaul. That means international compliance, stronger risk management, upgraded governance and renewed correspondent bank relationships. Why it matters? These are exactly the same steps you'd be taking before joining the WTO or revaluing your currency. Yes, I said it, revaluating your currency. And if the dinar is about to play on the global stage, Ripple's XRP could be the fast, compliant cross-border bridge they plug in next. Watch for Iraq to announce deeper SWIFT integration and cross-border fintech partnerships in the next 6 to 12 months. Longer term, WTO accession plus IMF approval could set the stage for a controlled RV, with XRP possibly powering the payment side. Guys, times change. Crypto is the new revaluation. And if you want to know more about the revaluation timeline, join my Patreon. The link is in the description below. It is free. There is a bunch of information over there to show you where we're at and where we're going. Next up, borrowing against XRP without paying taxes. Top crypto tax attorney Andrew Gordon reminds us loans aren't taxable. That means if you borrow against XRP, you can unlock liquidity without triggering capital gains, keeping your position intact while freeing up cash to deploy elsewhere. My opinion, for long-term believers in XRP's adoption story, this is one of the cleanest ways to expose and still fund your next big move. The everything bubble and Fed cuts coming. Stocks, homes, Bitcoin, gold, the money supply, the national debt, all at all-time highs. Inflation's been running about 4% a year since 2020, double the Fed's stated target. Yet the Federal Reserve is poised to cut rates next month. The outlook, that's like pouring lighter fluid on already soaring fire. Short term, expect more risk-taking. Long term, the exit could be messy. The odds of a Fed rate cut on September the 17th are now 96%. My opinion, if the cut lands, crypto could see another leg higher. But don't forget, markets love to sell the news whenever everyone's ready, positioned for the win. Institutional clients just poured in the 10th largest weekly inflow into stocks in market history. The biggest players aren't betting small. They're positioning for the rate cut to push prices higher. But if they misread the room, watch for a fast rush to the exits. Ethereum is dripping higher and the traders are calling for a full out season in September, October. The classic cycle is playing out. BTC pumps, ETH pumps, then the smaller cap alts take off. My opinion, this could be a sweet spot for nimble traders, but November corrections have a habit of wiping out the latecomers. Since Warren Buffett announced in May that he'd be stepping down, Berkshire Hathaway is down about 14%, while the S&P 500 is up 11%. That's a 25% performance gap, the widest in decades, even bigger than 2008 or 2000. The outlook, Buffett wasn't just a brand name, he was the moat. Without him, Berkshire has to prove it can deliver alpha without the oracle at the helm. Nvidia now makes up over 8% of the S&P 500, the largest single stock weight in index history, and it's worth $447 trillion. This is concentration risk at a scale we've never seen. If Nvidia stumbles, the whole index stumbles. France, Germany and the UK are ready to trigger UN snapback sanctions on Iran by the end of August unless nuclear talks resume. Energy markets are already tight. Add this and the oil prices could spike, complicating inflations just as central banks are easing. Big news, Evergrande will be removed from the Hong Kong Stock Exchange on August the 25th after 18 months of suspended trading, with $300 billion in debt and only $255 million recovered so far. Liquidation could drag on for decades or more, a slow motion unwind that could keep investors cautious on Chinese property. World Liberty Finance, backed by Donald Trump, has launched a $1.5 billion crypto treasury. The outlook could draw loyalists' investment, but it'll need a broad adoption to move beyond the political niche. The US debt has crossed $37 trillion. Donald Trump says rates should be at least 1% treasury. Secretary Bessent is pushing for a ban on single stock trading in Congress, calling out Pelosi-level returns. The outlook, low rates could pump markets in the short term. A congressional trading ban could level the playing field and change a few retirement plans on Capitol Hill. GE Appliances is spending $3 billion to modernize 11 US plants, creating 1% jobs. The outlook, great for the domestic supply chain, through small compared to the broader manufacturing base. A former Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan executive have been indicted for gambling away $4 million in investor funds at his online casino company. My opinion, a cautionary tale in what happens when risk management goes from spreadsheets to blackjack tables. So, Bitcoin hits the global top 5. Michael Saylor's Bitcoin holdings hit $77.2 billion. El Salvador's reserves show a $470 million unrealized profit. Price now $124,000. Bitcoin has overtaken Google to become the 5th largest asset in the world by market cap. The outlook, Bitcoin's now too big for global finance to ignore, and its moves will increasingly ripple into traditional markets. Google has reversed its plans to ban non-custodial wallets from the Play Store after user backlash. My opinion, proof that enough noise from the crypto community can move even big tech. Now, moving to the cyber threats on the rise. Crypto crime unit plus Binance equals $250 million seized and counting. Stolen logins, the top entry points for hackers. Many still work. Dell's Revolt flaws affecting 100 plus models. Bypass logins, steal keys and survive reinstalls. Tetra flaws, vulnerabilities in police military comms, even encrypted channels. The Hacker Alliance, Shiny Hunters plus Scattered Spider, they're names of hackers by the way. Salesforce hit, banks could be next. The outlook for finance, cybersecurity is no longer an IT problem, it's a market risk. Guys, if you didn't understand what I'm saying, the hackers are working in full force. Protect your crypto. If you need a decentralized wallet, the link's in the description below. And that's your wrap up for today's financial funny news. No fluff, no running commentary, cutting to the chase. Iraq's modernizing, Bitcoin's climbing the asset ranks, Washington's debating your trades, and hackers are still too comfortable. Until tomorrow, stay informed, stay nimble, and don't bet your investors' money on the blackjack table. Have a beautiful day, guys. God bless. And for now, bye-bye.